Stay tuned for my review on the Doubletree Orlando at Seaworld. Okay, so the resort is very centrally located to Aquatica as well as Seaworld, and it's so close that you could probably walk to Seaworld, but they offer a shuttle as well to all the parks in the area. You just have to sign up ahead of time because space is limited. They have a pool on site, which is outdoors. They also have a golf course, and they have 3 eating establishments, a bar, a grill, and a place where you can grab pizza, sandwiches, what have you. Across the street they have a Subway, another pizza place, I think something else, and a liquor store, so it's in a pretty good location. When I first arrived, it was nighttime, and I didn't know that they had as many gates as they have, and it took us 3 tries to get to the correct entrance, which was kind of annoying. Since all the gates are locked, you have to find the main entrance because you have to pay for parking, and that's a downside. Even if you stay there, you're a guest at the hotel, you have to pay for parking. Either, I believe it's $10 a day if you self-park, or it is $18 for valet parking. And you pay that every day automatically. I think it's billed to your room. Now, I checked in on a Saturday, and the downside is, I believe because of the location, it might be relatively close to nightclubs. If you're a family going, I would either see if you can't get a room located next to maybe other families, or somewhere that's going to be a quiet room, because when I checked in, I was checked in next to people who were clubbing. I mean, at 8 o'clock, I heard people on either side of me getting ready to go out to the club. And the people on one side of me, they were pretty quiet after a while. But after the people on the other side of me, they left. They came back at, I want to say, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was woke up. And I think they had been back since about 3. And I could hear their whole conversation. They were extremely loud. And it was rather annoying. So I went downstairs the next day to make sure that the people on both sides of me were checking out, so that I didn't have to hear that anymore. Otherwise, I was checking out. But they assured me that the people on either side of us were leaving, and that was the next day. So Sunday, it was fine, and it was quiet all the way up until the day I checked out. Now, let's see. The other downside was when I checked in, the driveway, the ramp that they call it, since there's valet parking there, they also have taxi options. The taxis kind of have a favorable position, so when you drive in to the ramp, I was in a fairly big truck, or SUV I should say, and the taxi kind of waved his finger in the air, and the valet guy comes over and says, you need to move your truck to further down the ramp because this is the spot for the taxis. Now I'm thinking, if you're going to have a place for guests and you're going to have a place for taxis, if I'm checking in and I'm a guest, or if I'm checking out and I'm a guest, why wouldn't you push the taxis closer to the exit part of the ramp, which will make it a lot more easier for people checking in? I didn't want to block out the driveway because I was in a rather large SUV. I didn't want to block it up so people can get in and out or hop in a taxi, or whoever's checking in. I didn't want to be in their way. So the guy kind of just opens the door and says, well, I'll just move it down the way for you, which I kind of had a problem with, because you don't just open someone's door and hop in and say, I'm going to move it down the way. It was a nice gesture in a way, but it was also, I didn't care for it, and had it been in another location, As for my room, I didn't have any complaints about my room. My room was really clean. It was nice. Besides the noise issue, there was no other problems. It was a nice size. I wasn't really there to stay in the room all day long, so I didn't really care too much one way or another. But it was clean, no problems whatsoever. I got my chocolate chip cookies. I was happy, so it was all right. The restaurants, I didn't go to the Bamboo Grill or Max's Deli, but I did go to the Bengali. I sat outside. It was really nice because the weather was pretty decent. If you do have a problem with paying gratuity, but it being already taxed on, you're not going to probably be too happy. I ordered, I think I got the salmon and it came with like vegetables, mushrooms or something like that, and asparagus. They have a kids menu as well. They have a nice sized drink menu. I had a key lime martini, which was one of the best martinis as far as key lime goes that I've had ever. Overall, I think I paid probably 80 something with tax and gratuity for 3 people to eat. So it wasn't too bad. Our server was really, really nice. He made sure we were taken care of. He wasn't far away. I mean, it was exceptional. The staff on site, as far as the hotel itself, everybody was very nice, very accommodating. Yeah, I really don't have any complaints. The only other thing I can mention is that when you check in, when you get your room keys, there's a little envelope that they give you. They stick your room keys in. It tells you that if you don't want the USA Today paper, then you should probably tell them ahead of time, because if you don't, they charge you, I think it's 75 cents a day, or each day that you get it. So that's one thing to consider. So they kind of do nickel and dime you here and there as far as the parking, and if you get your menu or your food, they nickel and dime you with the gratuity and the room paper. But I had a good time. It's a lovely place. Don't have any complaints. Really good location. You have the option of getting your free shuttle. You just have to reserve it ahead of time. So the cost, it varies. It depends on what room you stay in. I think it starts around $100 and it works its way up. So then you have the tower rooms and you have the regular outside rooms or so. No problems. Anyways, check me out next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this review.